I'm Will Coleman, founder and CEO of Alto, and I built Alto to put an end to rideshare horror stories. You're used to the total lack of consistency in rideshare. Maybe it's a smelly car or a driver that asks just one too many personal questions. Not anymore. With Alto, you know exactly what to expect every ride. Every Alto driver is a trained Alto employee, and every Alto vehicle is part of our private fleet of luxury SUVs. Say goodbye to rideshare horror stories. Download the Alto app today and use code FOUNDER for $10 off your first ride.
That's what I'm saying. That's what
I disagree. I disagree.
Well, then you would be inaccurate, sir.
If that doesn't describe this podcast to a T,
right?
I disagree. You're inaccurate.
The number says it. Lift the numbers up. What we talking about?
Welcome to 4 Than 10 right here on Spreaker, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcast, Amazon Podcast, wherever you're listening, if it's in the future, which it has to be because we're not live. So thank you so much for listening on whatever future platform we find ourselves on. My name is Nathan Owens. You can find me on Twitter. I'm _Owens. Instagram, I'm Owens. NathanOwensComedy.com. 3 comedians, 10 topics, 1 podcast, the unofficial podcast of Mint Mobile, which is, it's great. I lose service sometimes when I go to my parents' house. Other than that,
oh wait, you actually have Mint Mobile?
I got Mint Mobile. It's fun. Look, fun commercials.
Is that the Ryan Reynolds?
That's the Ryan Reynolds one. Yeah, they sent me a Christmas card.
God, you just want to be him.
Bro, I'm about to say, ain't no way you didn't pick that. If he wasn't Deadpool, you would not have that service.
Look, I think it's hilarious that y'all think I make any sort of financial call in this house.
I'm not saying you make the call, but you might have made a suggestion based on the fact that he was Deadpool.
Look, it doesn't hurt. I'm not like, if advertising didn't work, it wouldn't still be around. So, David Perdue's with me.
What's up, people? I'm happy to be here. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Do or die. It's at DUEORDIE or DavidPerdueComedy.com.
And of course, Damon Sumner.
What's going on, good people? Get at me on Instagram, DAMONJR at the number 2.
And back from the national championship, Dan Duncan.
Champion.
What's up, everybody? We're legends forever. Go Dogs. And F Alabama, dude. That tie's going out. At Dan Duncan.
I would like to give a little story of my perspective of Dan's national championship thing. So, still, I think it's ridiculous that the collegiate national championship is on a Monday. I think that's the dumbest thing in the world. Why is it not on Saturday? That's college football's day. Anyway, get that out of the way. So Dan goes to Indianapolis Monday morning. Monday, we clear the day. We clear the day. I'm like, Dan's gone. Tuesday, his flight gets in, I want to say like 2:00. So Dan was like, any call after 2, I can hop on. And I'm like, all right. This was the Friday before. So he's like, any call after 2, like you can put it there. I had maybe one internal call there. I'm watching the game. As I'm watching the game, I look at Twitter. Georgia wins. And I just see Dan sobbing on Twitter. And I was like, I'm clearing the rest. I cleared it at 1 a.m. I just canceled every call. Dan then calls me the next day, barely any voice, like, hey man, I think we should clear my call. Can we clear all my calls for yesterday? Also, when you pick me up from the airport, just take me home.
Wait, you were gonna go to work straight from the game?
That was originally the game plan.
Man, win or lose, that was a bad idea.
Win or lose.
I was just like, man, your day has been cleared.
Yeah.
So you take a nice little nap on the flight. I'll pick you up. Then I'm dropping you back home to nap.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it ended with us drinking and celebrating at 2 a.m. in like minus 10 degrees in a parking lot, and it felt great. So that will just give you a state of mind that I was in by the end. But that being said, I was sober from kickoff till the very end of the game because my stomach was in so much like knots.
Yeah.
That I literally like I sat in my seat. Allison went and saw Friends during halftime. She enjoyed every moment. I didn't say a word, honestly, until like from kickoff until like really like we like until we got the interception. I basically
I was about to say
said
price to the
very
pick. That was
little.
gonna be my guess. That was
Very
gonna be my guess
little.
to the pick. Yeah.
Very little. I mean, Allison was asking questions, and it was like, "What's gonna happen? Like, what are we gonna do?" I was like, "Okay, like, we need a drive right here," but that would be like about the only thing I would say, or just kind of screaming when we were on defense.
Yeah.
I did lose my voice, but I mean, all of that aside, like the greatest moment of my life, minus getting married and having children, it was everything I thought it could be, and until I realized that no one else gives a shit, like because I came home and like you come home from these things that you're like, this is a life-defining something I've like wanted and hoped for 25 years, and then you like talk to other people like, cool, dude, that's awesome, but no, for real, like actual real life, we need you to do these things. Like, I'm like, no, you don't understand. Georgia just won a national championship, and they're just like, there was definitely some people like drink it in, enjoy it, and then a lot of people were like, yeah, that's nice, dude, but like
those people have never put their heart into nothing and wanted that. Like, I get what you're saying, but you really do got to drink in those moments. When you get those moments, whatever they are, whether it's like your team or family, something you got to drink those in. And if the whole world don't pause like you pause, that's for them. They didn't put in what you put in emotionally. You know what I mean?
Especially things that you've never seen.
Yeah.
Like not in my lifetime, not in 10 years plus my life. My parents
no one here was alive the last time.
No. My parents weren't even married.
Yeah.
Like, it's a different world.
Yeah. So
it was amazing.
I was happy that you shared what you shared. I was happy for you. That's when I was telling my brother, like, I'm a Georgia fan, but I was like, oh, there's levels.
And that's how I felt about the Braves. Like when the Braves won, I was like, this is so awesome.
Yeah.
Like, been to a lot of games, but like, but it was like, I'm happier for, there's like certain people that I'm like, this is defining for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clearly, as I lost it, as it was very notably known on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh yeah, I weeped like a 3-year-old child.
I cried when the Braves won.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
You gotta get that out.
Yeah. It's real. I'm more curious, like, what team, if any, will make Damon cry?
I was about to ask that.
The answer is none. I know this. The answer is,
listen, man. I thought I was a sports fan until I got on this podcast with y'all, man. I thought I was in. I was like,
you're the only trained journalist, though. You're the only trained journalist.
Yes.
So you come in objective.
This is fair here, but no, it was a dope moment for sure.
There's not a single thing, Damon, you can think of that would get you to that level.
Sports? No, not in sports.
Yeah, where you're pacing.
Nah.
Even being there live, that wouldn't make a difference.
No. Well, I wouldn't be there live, Nate. I wouldn't be there live. That's already good. It's perfectly fine. But no,
we knew this. We all knew this.
We knew this. Let's this is something you probably didn't know. T.I. rapper, sensation of the old world, trying to do stand-up comedy. We're not going to talk about it because we already talked about it on our Patreon episode. Patreon, patreon.com for that exclusive content. You're like, what? T.I. trying to do what now? It was a good time. And for everybody not in the room. So we want you to check it out. Follow us over there on Patreon here. Exclusive content for as little as $1. You get that, bonus episodes, and so much more. You hear that story, go back a few weeks, you hear 3 parts. I think we got 3 parts right now of our origin story. Part 4 is coming up very soon here. Check it out over on Patreon. David, Purdue Picks, talk to the people.
No such thing. Let's go move on.
Elliot, friend of the show. Elliot, stop playing around. Elliot wasn't the only one. They said, yo, man, stop playing to get on the reviews. That's what they said.
Yeah, the people was talking.
People was talking, man.
People was talking. We gotta get them.
We just want the tweets now. We just want you in the Twitterverse. Just show us some love.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah.
I don't know about Twitter. Listen, guys, we gotta let go of Twitter. Listen.
You hate Twitter so much.
Twitter. Listen, man.
Twitter's by far the superior.
It ain't the gram, fam. It is not the gram. Okay.
The gram requires more than words.
No, listen to me. We got to demote Twitter. I'm gonna listen to me here, January 2022.
No,
we can't
man.
keep. Ain't nobody.
It's the
on
only
Twitter,
true
like 12 of us,
platform.
man.
It's the only platform left.
Which one?
Twitter, man.
It's the only
one. It's the only one I have on my phone now. It's the only one I choose to engage
in
with.
The past. Don't get left behind in the dust, Dan. You trying to build your personals, and you gonna build it on Twitter?
Well,
Twitter's where to go, man.
I mean, Twitter. Okay, I'll correct this. Twitter is where I personally choose to engage. If you know what I do for a living, obviously I'm very conscious of all those.
But
things.
If we're talking to people to do stuff for us politely, it ain't Twitter. That's what I'm saying. That's what
I disagree.
Well, then you would be inaccurate, sir.
If that doesn't describe this podcast to a T,
right?
I disagree. You're inaccurate.
The number says it. Look the numbers up. What are we talking about here?
I feel like Dan knows some numbers too.
He does. And those numbers did not help his argument.
I also feel like we saw a friend go from asking us for spots to a late night writing spot in a year because of Twitter.
One friend.
I've seen none.
I haven't seen none of my friends have popped on Instagram.
I've seen 10 people I've known 5-6 people who popped on Instagram making money. Katoya know about 20 women right now making money on Instagram with brand deals. So you better get you some more friends, big dog.
I mean, last time I checked, none of us are wearing little to nothing getting brand deals on Instagram. So
no. These are fully clothed women talking about soups. I'm not talking about. I said Katoya. I don't know who you think my wife hangs around. Ain't no bikinis over here. We talking about grown woman with crop hats. Okay? What? Come on. Check yourself, baby. Check yourself. We talking about brand deals.
No tummy tea in this house. All right.
Instagram. That's it. That's what we want. Instagram and Twitter. Make sure you just put Instagram first.
Yeah. If you're on Facebook, don't talk to us.
Nate been at 900 people on Twitter for 7 years.
Hey, man,
we're still trying to build that up.
What? No, I am past 9. I'm well past 900.
How much you got on TikTok right now?
On TikTok, I have 1870.
Already passed it in 4 months of you being silly.
Yeah, I'm almost at 13. I'm almost at 1300 on Twitter.
And it's we're gonna move on. We just got to put Twitter in the appropriate position when we're talking to our people. And in my humble opinion, I think most of our people engage more on Instagram. I digress.
Let's put up a poll.
Guess where we put most of the polls at? Where most of the polls go down?
Well, I also know our listens haven't gone up exponentially, so we probably should do something different.
Yeah, this feels like a yes and.
This is very yes and. This is like we need salt and pepper.
Yeah.
Put a little garlic salt in that bad boy.
Yeah, we are lacking several ingredients. Well, let's jump into it. This is going to be a heavy NFL. And if you watched any of the games, you know why. We just saw 4 of the best games. I think probably the best 4 games in NFL history, back to back.
Not a question.
I think every game ended on the last play.
Crazy.
Yeah,
which is the first time that has happened. All right, I guess we can start. We'll start with the Saturday games. First one, I believe, was Titans-Bengals. Joe Burrow. I'll say this. Joe Burrow is who y'all thought Baker Mayfield is. Joe Burrow is who y'all thought Baker Mayfield was going to be.
What Baker Mayfield got to do with anything?
I'm just saying he's confident. He's cocky. He's all these things that you can lead a team young that everybody said Baker Mayfield was going to do. He didn't. Joe Burrow did.
You got a better team for starters.
Yeah, that is part of it.
Who's got a better team?
But also, like, the Browns bleed receivers. People want to play with Joe Burrow. I'm just
much better than the Bengals.
I'm just saying, I felt pretty good watching that game because there's a part of me that was like, the Falcons won the Julio trade. Julio's taking home just as much hardware as the Falcons.
So you're rooting against Julio?
I was rooting against Julio. Yeah, specifically Ryan Tannehill. And I just wanted to be like, yeah, grass isn't that green, is it?
Ryan Tannehill is a mediocre or sub-mediocre quarterback.
I get it.
Is probably the main reason the Titans have lost in the NFC championship round and the divisional round the last 3 years.
So I enjoyed that game. I was glad to see the
Bengals watch
win.
sports like that. That's so weird to me.
Because you gotta have something. You can't just watch it. You gotta have a rooting interest.
You can root for a player. Like I like
or
that
just
player.
bet on the game and have a rooting interest so you can make some money. Like,
yeah, man, it can't be good for your heart, bro. That can't be good for your heart. Just watching sports and be like, who do I hate today?
I don't want to see Julio be happy.
Yeah. Hey man, get that hate out your heart, man.
No, that's a fresh X.
Put that hate in your workplace.
Bro, you
hate anywhere else.
Even if he had won, you can watch the game and be like, dang, he is 3 steps slower. Like, glad we don't have that problem on our payroll anymore.
Yeah.
All I want to say about that game is the whole season, but specifically these last 6 games for specifically Joe Burrow, I think solidly put him, in my opinion, as the 3rd best quarterback in the AFC conference. He jumps Herbert, who had a Lamar, and so now you've got Mahomes, Allen, and Joe Burrow.
Wait, hold on. Say that list again. 1, 2, 3 with Burrow.
Yeah, what's 1, 2, 3?
Mahomes, Allen, and Burrow. Those are the top 3 AFC quarterbacks.
Dang, man, MVPs don't mean nothing. Okay.
What don't mean nothing?
MVPs.
Oh, they do mean something. They do, but you got to make sure you do it at the right time as well. It's a 2-edged sword.
So I will agree if the Bengals had a better offensive line. So that's not on him. It's not on Burrow. But like in watching that game, there were multiple opportunities that he just couldn't, like streaking wide open receivers that he couldn't see because he was all like getting pulled down to the ground.
I'm confused. So you're saying you would agree, but it's because
I think he has the potential to be, but the Bengals need a better offensive line for him to like achieve that potential. Does that make sense? Like I see what you're saying, but I don't think it's there yet.
So who do you have? Let's go real quick here. I'm intrigued because I saw the faces. Top 3 today at this moment. Top 3 AFC quarterbacks.
Mahomes. I'll go first. Mahomes.
Sure.
Yeah. I still got Lamar Jackson, who won MVP. I'll still probably I'll put up my man for Buffalo Allen.
Okay,
probably
those your 3.
He showed me. Yeah.
Got it. Nate and then Dan.
Man, I mean, I hadn't really thought to put them in order
because Burrow. Just give us 3. Just give us 3 names.
I think I still have Mahomes, Allen, Jackson.
Sure, Dan.
I'm just double checking here. Today. You're saying today?
Okay. We're talking about right now, fam.
Yeah, I mean,
stay with your chest, bro.
I think he's in the conversation, but like, I would probably agree with David's top 3 today.
Listen, I hear what you guys saying. I respect what you're saying. This is one reason why Lamar has slid down to 4, and it's not a knock. I mean, it is a knock. You think about Deshaun Watson, you think about Russell Wilson. Each year, right? I think we could agree with this. When you talk about best player in the league, any league, basketball, football, specifically those 2 sports, you got to kind of show it, right, consistently, as well as then, I won't speak for y'all, but also got to show it in the postseason. So yes, Lamar got the MVP 2 years ago, and he got 1 playoff win, right? He got that. That's what he's got, right? And then this year kind of flounders, right? Right now in the 2nd season with a trash line. No, he doesn't have an MVP, but he is at least further along with a less talented team in less time to do it. So at this moment, let me be clear. At this moment, he is, to me, I use all my words carefully, the 3rd best. But I hear what you're saying.
On that team, Herbert and if Jackson, you put Jackson on that team, I've never known who Jackson throws to.
Yeah,
I've never known.
Or which running back. Fourth string running back is playing for the Ravens.
He got Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase breaking all the rookie records.
If he's got all that, he has all that talent by himself. So he needs to do more as well.
Who has that? Jackson don't got
Jackson is Superman. That's what they call him.
Who?
Everybody calls him Superman.
Who is he throwing to at quarterback?
Bro, it doesn't matter who you're throwing to.
It absolutely matters.
Brady won championship. Who was the best receivers besides Moss for Brady? He threw it to anybody. That was 1 year. Then he also threw it to. He's
got Hall of Fame. He's always had.
He only had 2 Hall of Famers.
But you said You said the Bengals are worse than the Ravens.
The Ravens, pound for pound, when everybody's healthy, the Ravens are a better team. Yeah.
Offense?
Holistically. They were coming in. Go look at the predictions. They were supposed to go 13-3 and win the AFC North.
I can never name a wide receiver Lamar Jackson's had, and he's never had a running back.
Bro, every great quarterback ain't had no amazing. Who did Marino have?
I don't know.
Thank you. All right, there it is. So
I'm not 59 years old.
No, we know stats. Don't bring up the age. We know stats.
I don't know like that. Currently, right now, Burrow has one of the best wide receivers in the game. In Chase.
Yes, he's got probably arguably two. Sure.
Exactly. We've never known anybody Lamar Jackson
who's
throwing
more talented, who has more ability holistically as a player.
You still have to throw the ball to someone.
You also got a chance to run the ball. 1,000-yard season.
Okay. So the Raiders get to choose their quarterback.
Raiders?
The Raiders.
Yeah, the Raiders. You're saying your team.
Yeah. Today I'm choosing Burrow.
Lamar Jackson.
Today I'm choosing Burrow.
Wow. All right. Cool.
I'm picking Herbert over Burrow too. I like Burrow.
Stop it. All right. Stop it here.
Look, I know that hurt because that man almost carved your team up.
Oh no, obviously he already beat Mahomes. I understand
Herbert. Your objective, but Herbert, listen, and I'm only saying this. No, I'm only saying this as someone
I think Josh Allen's better than Herbert. And
Jackson.
Burrow.
Yeah. He's number 2. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying, as someone, only reason why I'm riding for Herbert the way I will and put him before Burrow, because I've mistakenly got him on my fantasy team the last 2 years, and he's the only good thing.
Only that hold is strong.
The only good thing. I said, man, this man is nice. People should pay more attention to him. He's very good.
He is very good.
The AFC quarterbacks, they might have, without thinking too deep, they might be the deepest conference when you talk about quarterbacks. They're young. Mahomes 26, Allen's 25, Burrow's 26. Jackson's 25, and I think Herbert's 24, 25. That's like it's. And then on the right side, you got an old Rodgers, you got an older Brady, you got an aging Wilson, you got a young Kyler, but he's still trying to ascend. You got what is that going to do, right? So when you just look at quarterbacks, in my opinion, AFC's heavy.
I agree.
Oh, the AFC is going to crush whatever NFC team makes it to the Super Bowl. Like by two or three touchdowns, like mark it down right now.
Let's work our way up to who I think you're wrong about. But first, 49ers, Packers. This is the game that I missed. And looking at stats right now, it looked like the most boring game of the weekend.
It was. It was extremely boring if you don't care about either of those teams. I watched it, and it was
13-10.
The opening drive by the Packers was like, oh, the Packers are gonna just run a train, and then walked away, and I came back and it was the same score like an hour later. Like I was just like what is happening here? What happened to Aaron Rodgers? What happened to their offense? Like he looked like he couldn't miss on the opening drive, and then all of a sudden it was just like everyone's like toesicles got cold and stopped running.
Yeah, I saw the game. I just want to say this. I didn't realize this has kind of to do with the game. I knew he was bad, but I didn't know how bad Joe Buck was at talking about anything. He's so bad.
He's terrible.
When he said, I was at the game, when he said that the Packers have an advantage in the cold because they know what to wear when it's cold. Sleeves, sock. Like people aren't cold for the first time when they go to Green Bay. Everybody knows or has someone. You think we got all these advanced analytics about how to do so many things and nobody thought to figure out what to do when it's cold?
Under Armour.
Like what? I remember thinking like, take his microphone. Don't let him talk no more. He's saying ridiculous stuff. I'm sorry. I had to get that off my chest. He's the worst.
It's because it was also a week after Troy Aikman pouted the whole time because Fox didn't have the Cowboys game.
Yeah.
It was terrible. I'll be honest. I'm glad that Aaron Rodgers lost. One of the most uniting things I saw was 90% of Twitter come together and just throw alley-oops to each other and just a dunk contest on Aaron Rodgers.
That's one of the quickest falls from graces I've ever seen.
Bruh, so smooth.
We was all discount double checking about 4 or 5 years ago. And now we're like, get him out of here.
It's once you complain on national television or a national radio show that you're being silenced, that's when people turn. When you go, I'm being silenced, and everybody goes, shut up, we wish.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to be silenced so bad, and you're not. Once you start complaining about that and cancel culture, that's when people just want to hurt you.
It was. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've seen a lot of Rodgers games. I definitely think it was, if not one of the worst games of his career in the whole grand scheme of things. Right? You're more than likely going to get the MVP. All of this talk and the nonsense going on in the offseason.
The last dance thing. Remember
all of that, right? All of the on the field, all of the off the field during the season stuff that goes on, right? This whole hoopla. And then you get the number 1 seed, you get the bye, you know what I'm saying? Like, all that comes together. You're at home, and then you go 20 for 27, 225 yards, no touchdowns. You throw the ball, you hit 20 completions. 18 other completions are to either Aaron Jones or Devontae Adams. And that's not great. And you come in with an L against Jimmy G. And I'm just like,
and you go 0-3 in the playoffs against the 49ers in your career.
0-4, but you're 100% right. Yes, let's make sure they get all that credit. Because Kaepernick beat them in the first year round.
First 2 years. First 2 years.
Thank you. And so anyway, I was filled with satisfaction because I think the on the field and off the field things, I think they all play a part to a degree, right? And I'll just say this about Jimmy G. Statistically, I don't know how he do it, but he is a winning quarterback. You look at him and you be like, how does he keep winning? Look at the numbers. Homie just keeps finding ways to mess up but still win.
Bro, they don't even want him there. He is like the NFL version of Stetson Bennett, where it's like no one wants him. Everyone's like, I guess you're our guy if we have to have you. And even if they win the Super Bowl, they're like, the entire 49 world is gonna be like, okay, but for real, like,
no.
Can we get someone?
Look, here's the thing. As somebody who watched Mark Sanchez go to back-to-back AFC championship games,
right?
There's sometimes you just go, I guess he stayed out of the way, and like the defense is good enough. And if you're on one of those teams where you just have to score 17 points.
But if you're Tannehill finds ways to lose. Like, it's different because like we're talking about the Titans losing because of Tannehill, and you know they've gotten to a championship game like with him. Garoppolo has this weird Brady like winning like aura about him that he just like. I agree, he just finds ways to win despite really no one wanting him.
Not really no one think he has the talent to do it.
The only pushback then I want to give you on the Titans is that I think the whole world outside of Nashville thought they were going to 100% implode without Derrick Henry, and somehow, some way,
they didn't.
They get the number 1 seed with the.
I know the way. Their division is trash.
Sure, but
the
you
worst
still have
division
Herbert.
in football.
You still have Burrow. You still have Jackson and Mahomes, and you have
no. AFC South.
No. They were the number 1 seed in the conference.
Right, because they got to play the Colts twice. Jacksonville twice,
that's
Houston twice.
You got to play 17 games.
That's
I hear
true.
you.
But almost half of them are against the worst.
But they also have Derrick Henry Jr. like as their backup running back. Like they have
no. That man didn't get a lot of touches. I hear what you said. He didn't get a lot of touches.
Bro, but when they stay in the backfield, you have to double take and be like,
we got to give Tannehill one piece of respect. You don't get the number 1 seed in the conference without doing something decently. That's all.
True. Again, I think Tannehill is a
mediocre. Mediocre is the right word.
Decent quarterback. But I think like it's interesting how like this like how we rate both Garoppolo and Tannehill are both mediocre quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And one where like he just carries the blessing of the NFL gods, and and then the other person just like finds ways to fail on the 1 yard line.
Sure.
I
hear you.
There we go. All right, into Sunday's games.
Sunday games.
First game, Rams Bucks, which I received so many texts during this game.
When it was 28-3.
Bro, yes. That's when I turned it on. I turned it on at that.
Oh man, you missed the fun part.
Yeah.
So I'm watching this happen, and one of my cousins was like, "You having flashbacks?" And I didn't respond. I didn't respond to so many texts because I was like, what are you doing? And then when Brady started coming back, I got more texts. I think I just put my phone on airplane mode for a little bit. I was just like, how is this bothering me?
Mental health, baby. Got to take care of your mental health, man.
We say that, if I may add, we also have to learn to strengthen our mental health. I'm not saying you shouldn't take care of yourself, but you should also learn you have to strengthen it. Whatever that looks like for you. But continue.
But no, I mean, Rams win on a game-winning field goal.
After the most incredible throws by Matt Stafford. Getting pulled to the ground and throws up a 40-yard pass to Cooper Kupp that
on the money.
Looked
on
impossible.
the money.
So before we get super analytical and scientific, there's something about Stafford right now that feels unbeatable. And I think part of it is the Braves.
Is there?
Georgia. There's just something to it.
For the first half, he looked very beat. Only half of the game he didn't look beat. First half of the game, he looked very beatable.
I'm just saying it's a feeling, and you're just like, I think the Rams have it. If anybody beats an AFC team, it'll be the Rams. I still have the Rams winning the Super Bowl, no matter who comes out.
I think people want Stafford to go, like, having suffered through 10, 11 years in Detroit.
It took all his years.
And like being like, for him to go there, show up, shut down all of his detractors from saying he couldn't win the big game, couldn't win under pressure, couldn't win when it counts. I think like he kind of, for all the irony of a kid from freaking the richest zip code in the country who went to Georgia as the number one quarterback in the country, he has an underdog like storyline now that I think people are rooting for, which I'm rooting for. Like,
oh, for sure.
I mean, I want to see him win. Cooper Kupp walk on like nobody receiver winning the Triple Crown. Like,
also, wouldn't it be wild if Odell Beckham Jr. got a Super Bowl,
bro?
That would be wild. That would be wild.
I'll say that one, they were definitely trying to give that game away. The fumble.
Oh my gosh.
They're just dumb stuff. And so when they scored, when the Bucs scored and it was 27-10 or whatever it was, I was like, here you go. I think everybody thought that.
Oh, yeah.
Here you go. Then I jumped with the 17, then that fumble pop, and then it was a wrap. There were like, how many seconds were there before Stafford's last three throws? 30?
Yeah, 38 or something like that.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they spiked it with 4 seconds left.
The biggest stat was, actually, that stat's about a different game. I'll hold that. But I'll say this: those two throws to Kupp, that's why you think Goff is not what you needed, and you bring in Stafford. Mm-hmm. That one right there, boom, hit him there, and then that deep bomb, you're finna get knocked on your butt, and had Kupp been able to keep another step or two, it was going to the house. And you gotta make that throw. That throw right there alone already cemented in my mind why they brought Stafford. To go 100%. And try to beat the GOAT, right? At home, like you got. Oh wait, no, on the road.
On the road.
Right?
On the road.
Right? Those are the games that you got to get when you're trying to build a legacy up here, right? So I've never been a huge Stafford fan, but I was impressed, and I was like, okay. Even this whole season, I was like, show me. So that game right there, I think for a lot of people who were skeptics with Stafford, was like, okay, all right, you got something there. So it's gonna be interesting to see. Mm-hmm. Is it going to be a home game against San Fran?
I believe it's in LA. I can check right now.
I think so. I think they won the division, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
I think the Rams won the division, so it should be in LA.
It's in LA.
Which they could have both games in LA if they win.
Nate would be spitefully cheering against the 49ers, right, Nate?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I don't want Shanahan to get a ring.
Oh.
Yeah, if I have to choose between Matt Stafford getting a ring and Shanahan, yeah.
Neither of them are getting a ring.
I'm about to say the AFC right now. The AFC.
Right.
Let's talk about that game.
49ers don't have a chance.
Well, Jimmy G.
He ain't had a chance.
Jimmy gonna beat the Rams.
He's gonna be Joe Flacco 2.0 over here.
Look, as somebody who has probably gone through a bit of life with Jimmy G talent, sometimes it just happens. sometimes you just stumble your way and you look up and you're like, oh, I'm married.
Look at us.
Oh, look at this.
What was that? The Dallas Mavericks of 2015 or 14, whatever it was.
Sometimes you just like JJ Barea guarding LeBron is working. I don't know why. Science cannot explain it, but that tiny little bobblehead's doing it. So we got to keep working.
Okay, we can't cut short. Probably
this game's crazy.
NFL game I've ever watched.
Top three for sure.
I mean, was it 4 scores in the last minute and a half?
Yeah, it was like 28 points in 2.5 minutes.
It was also like, if I remember, it was like something like 400 some yards passing between the two in the last stupid number
against two of the best like third down defenses. Like in the NFL.
Yeah. Josh Allen, I believe. 9 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in the playoffs. That's incredible. I think it's one of the rare times where you're just like, oh, we have the two best teams going up against each other. You're like, oh, this is what it's supposed to look like.
Oh, yeah, this is the SEC championship game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally.
Totally.
It's like such a shame that was a divisional championship game. Yeah. But I just have to say, like my family grew up in Kansas City. I'm watching the game, kind of like rooting for Kansas City. And after Tyreek like runs it in, I was like, that was too quick. Like Josh Allen is just going to come down. Like that was too quick. Like Tyreek, you ran too quickly.
Also, can we talk about him giving the peace sign to somebody in front of him? Not taunting somebody behind.
He didn't look back. I see you up there, and that's the last time
you're about to beat you.
Yeah.
He hit that. He caught that slant, turned, and just fight.
Yeah. It's a different type of fast.
Right. It's a different type of speed.
That's a different type of fast.
I mean, Nico Hardman, who's also on that team, is the fastest Georgia player that I've ever watched in person play
super
football.
Fast.
Like just so fast. And then when you watch him like compared to running against like catching balls and then like Tyreek catching balls, you're just like, oh, you're just a superhuman runner. Speed. Like just insanity. But yeah, so then Josh Allen, of course, comes down the field, throws a touchdown. I was like, I knew it. Allison's like, oh, there's still a chance. I was like, no, you don't understand. There's not enough time.
In
this game.
Not enough time.
They had 12 seconds
13
or
13
seconds. 13 seconds. I was like, the game's over.
Over.
It's 2 Hail Mary. Like it's like a short pass and then a Hail Mary and the game's over.
Over.
Dude, how they were able to score 3 points in 13 seconds from the 20-yard line.
So that's the stat. So Dak Prescott takes him 14 seconds. And they said it took 13 seconds to get that tying field goal. When I saw that stat and just so the totality of run, quarterback sneak, get up, fumble with the ref, get the ball, timeout, to throw, I think he hit 2 passes.
Kelsey.
Was it Kelsey twice?
Kelsey, yes.
Kelsey twice. With the run down the field, everybody, big lineman just
you got timeouts. They had timeouts.
But they're still like I'm just talking about the mentality.
Right? No, I hear you.
Mentality. And then they take it to overtime. And then we'll talk about the overtime rule in a second here, I assume. But that game, just sensational, bro. It reminded me this weekend, because I watch a lot more basketball in volume because there's more games like just on. So over the last few years, I've been watching more volume. But this weekend was just another reminder of what I've played forever, what I've loved forever, of why I love as my number one sport is football. It was just a great weekend. In that game with 2 of the best quarterbacks, in my opinion, 2 top 4, 5 quarterbacks in the league right now.
Yeah. Josh Allen showed me something.
Young.
Yeah, that part right there, David. That part
Josh
right there,
Allen,
bro.
Like y'all remember, I said they were gonna lose because Josh Allen made the Falcons defense look good this season.
Right. You said that. You did say that.
I was like, ain't no way that somebody that make the Falcons defense look good gonna beat Mahomes. Then he was coming at. This is the most impressive thing to me. Like there was a point in the game where they were just like, I don't know who you gonna throw it to. You can run it if you want. You can do whatever you want. Just your ball and you do what you want. The throws that he was making with the zip that he had it.
The zip.
And then you don't realize like also he's running out, getting them yards, running like. And he's at 250 pounds.
Bro,
like that.
He's a better Cam Newton.
Yeah,
he's a better prime Cam Newton.
Yeah, we seeing something special right there.
Bro,
I was impressed. I felt bad for the Bills.
The last touchdown pass he threw,
Oh my goodness,
when he got to touch the ball, he threw a 40-yard touchdown on a line.
Zipped it.
Like
I was surprised he caught it the way he caught it. Like that's like a catch off the body. My man sucked that like a vacuum. I said, man, I would have broke my fingers.
But Patrick Mahomes,
he impressed me.
Patrick Mahomes said that's cute.
He did.
That's cute. Like your 9 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's cute. I'm still that dude.
Right.
Like just like, and the quote that came out that I guess the head coach came over to him and he goes just like, "Hey man, when it gets grim, just be the Grim Reaper."
Be the Grim
Reaper.
Reaper.
Oh my.
It's going to be interesting to see how these young quarterbacks stack up because Mahomes has a couple years on everybody right now. We talk about that super young field of QBs. I wonder if we're going to look back and it's going to look like when it was Jordan in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
And you're just like, man, Ewing could have won in almost any other era.
Yeah.
Like Barkley should have won in other eras. Like the fact that Orlando team, like you saw, and you're just like, you had the unfortunate luck of being born around the time as one of the greatest, if not the greatest player of all time.
Yeah.
Oh, Josh Allen will have to run this back like another 3 or 4 times just to get past the Chiefs once.
That's how I'm gonna have to go to the NFC because he in trouble, man.
They just gave him $400 million, so he ain't going nowhere.
Because you think about the Chiefs had every reason to lose. Like no one's supposed to keep going to that many championship games. Like in football, you gonna fall off.
Yeah, it's complacency.
It's hard. Complacency, but it's also if you're doing that successful, people are gonna want to get paid. So you're gonna lose people for money. And then last year, if you remember, their line was trash. Like there was they didn't have Honey Badger this game. There's so many reasons why they should not have won this game. Yeah, and that man said, I don't lose.
The window just doesn't stay open with the same roster. Like you have to have so much turnover.
To that point, I think I was telling y'all in this pre-show, like if you look at the roster, the cap hits of every single team that lost this week, minus the Bills, because we're taking them off the table. Yeah. But like the Packers, just as an example, their active contracts is $234 million. Kansas City Chiefs is 186 and the Bengals 151. And the point, like just as examples, the point is you cannot, to the point y'all are making, you cannot continue to win unless you have bad contracts. Mecole Hardman, someone we talked about in the Chiefs, making $1.2 million. Like if you don't have a Mecole Hardman, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, they're less effective because that you can double them. There's just those like small pieces that like in each of those, the teams that won, you look at the bad contracts, you're like, oh, that's why they won. That's why the Falcons suck. It's why the Seahawks suck. It's why you have these teams that just pay astronomical amounts of money. Now, you look at Patrick Mahomes, that dude's making like $40 million a year.
Yeah, he's getting all the money.
But they're finding ways with other unknown or rejected players and being like, hey, you can bring something here.
I think to add to your point, somebody has to overperform for great teams. And for the bad teams, the person you paying a lot of money, normally they just perform, right? Like we look at like if you bring it home, the Falcons, Matt Ryan isn't a terrible quarterback, but for that money, they need you to play like Patrick Mahomes. Like you have to be above and beyond, and you have to have players that, like you said, outperform, right? So like you said, pretty sure every team is going. OBJ is not making no money with the Rams. You know what I mean?
I think at the end of the day, like the era of the NFL has shifted. Tell me if y'all disagree with this, but like I don't know that unless your quarterback can grab 100, 110 in a game, pick up first downs like on long third and 12, be able to scramble for a first down. If a quarterback like Matt Ryan is still a thing anymore, like Justin Herbert's gonna be the closest that we get to see, but like Aaron Rodgers, like Allen, Mahomes, like we can run it down.
Yeah,
you see the mobility in a quarterback as a must have at this point.
There's only one Tom Brady. There's only one of them.
and there's tiers to it too, right? Like so you got, in my opinion, right, the most athletic is Lamar, right? So you got that. Then you go down and it's like, all right, well, Josh Allen doesn't have or need to be that explosive and electric.
Right.
Where you look up, you're like, damn, how you get 82 yards, right? And then you go down, and one word I love is like that elusiveness. Like Mahomes, it was that one play he went like 30 yards. It's like, all right, he ain't finna put the burners on. He's not finna scare you for an HB draw. But can I get that first down when I need it? Can I run for 8? You know what I'm saying? Things like that. So I do think that element of athleticism enough and falling in those tiers. Like Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is not Lamar Jackson, but he's somewhere in between, to me, Lamar and Josh Allen with speed and just that elusiveness that can get me a few more plays to get the win.
Nate, are you ready for the Falcons to let Matt Ryan go and start the rebuild?
Look, I mean, if Stafford wins the ring, I'm all for Matt Ryan going to an organization that'll put him behind a somewhat decent line with a decent GM that's going to get good players around him. Like I am all.
You can see Ryan going to New Orleans. Great coach.
No, I don't see him going to New Orleans.
I got Matt Ryan going to Pittsburgh. I'm gonna say that right here. Pittsburgh.
So that's where a lot of people want to see Rodgers go, but Matt Ryan could go there as well. That's
or the Titans.
Or the Titans.
Julio calls up Matt Ryan.
They just paid
yo, dude.
Hey man, that ain't never happened. Julio, when that national TV said, "I'm out." That let him. He said, "He don't want to.
I'm out,
I don't want to see with y'all. I don't want to skate with y'all. I don't want nothing to do with you. I got to get out of here."
Let's talk here. I know we've been talking for 4 hours, but I want to talk for a few minutes about this overtime rule. So the Chiefs, the Bills, they get to overtime. Coin toss flip goes. Chiefs get the ball. They score a touchdown. Game over. Josh Allen and the crew never get it. Big talk of the day. Big talk of the week. Should the NFL change the overtime rule? This was arguably, again, one of the best weekends ever of all time for NFL playoffs, and specifically that game, Chiefs-Bills, top 5, arguably, playoff game of all time, right? And so we ain't got to go too deep into it, but we can. It's our podcast. We do what we want. I'm going to just start with you, Nate. Let's just go around quickly here. Do you think the NFL should change in any type of fashion the overtime rule? Let's just start right there real quick.
I would say that I am not in the camp that it needs to change. I would be okay with it changing, but when people talk about it being egregious,
I'm
like, no, it's not. It's fine.
Dan, then David.
Oh, it's terrible.
Okay.
It's not exciting.
Okay.
It's like, what are we doing? We just spent 4 hours watching something, and then you take the ball out of if you have two amazing offenses like we just had, like, of course what happened is going to happen. The defense is exhausted. They've been torched for 480 yards at that point in time. They had scored 2 touchdowns in the last 2 minutes. Like, of course the defense is going to let a touchdown in. Like, it's an inevitable reality. I think I understand the thought process of like, this shortens the overtime. We're not going to do like 8 rounds of like college football. I get the thought process during the season for that, when really wins and losses in the NFL during the season, it kind of nets out via over. Like, it's just not that important. 1, 2, 3 losses isn't ending a team's season in the NFL like it does in college football. But when it comes to the playoffs, there has to be a better system that the coin toss doesn't necessarily determine the outcome.
So you would at least want a playoff amendment at worst case scenario.
Yeah.
What about you, David, real quick?
Sam, I think I saw a stat that said that whoever wins a coin toss in this format is like 10-1.
Yeah. 10-1.
I just feel like we saw such a great game that we were robbed of more, right? Like, it didn't end the way football ends. You know what I mean? Like, football ends with there's a certain time run out. Like, taking time out of it feels weird. You know what I mean? Like, we're getting a diluted version of the product. And to see Allen on the other end never getting a chance to touch the ball after what he just did, you know what I mean? I don't know how you make it work. I mean, I'm pretty sure the players don't want to have the college situation where it can be back and forth. But as a fan, it feels weird to feel like I got robbed in such a good game. But I do feel like we all got robbed a little bit.
So as a fan, I definitely get that. I definitely do. As if I put my hat on, my objective hat here, everybody's getting paid and everybody's got to do that job, right? You talk about the 3 tiers: special teams, offense, and defense. And so I won't say like I'm like a lot of cats who I saw big staunch of like, just play defense and that's how it goes. But I do think Dan brought up the stats. You had 2 of the best defenses, coming in the last few weeks here. Somebody had to get a stop sooner or later, right? The Bills should have stopped Mahomes from getting that field goal to tie it up, and definitely Homer who got his ankles broken and fell down on that route with Davis. Davis had 4 touchdowns, something silly. Goes on. So I do think there's an element of figuring. There's not a right or wrong answer, maybe, but I do think special teams got to play their part, and the defense has to play their part. I need you to get 3 stops. I need you to get 3 stops so we can get a chance to get the ball. As a fan, I'm with you, but as if I'm just putting on that other hat, I'm like, yo, there's 3 phases of the game. We just saw 3 field goals win 3 playoff games, Saturday and Sunday. I think there's an element to that makes it difficult.
Yeah, and like I guess for me, if I'm Kansas City, I'm kind of looking at this like a coin toss didn't decide the game. Like they still had to go 100 yards to win that game. Like
right.
It's so to me, it's like if you're a Buffalo fan and you're like, that's ridiculous. It's like, I don't know, maybe your defense shouldn't given up 3 touchdowns in a minute and a half.
And vice versa, right? If the Bills were to win.
The 10-1 stat is the thing that I bring home, because like anything that's 10-1, it's just like, all right, something is askew, right? Like something just isn't what it always is.
Yeah, that
I mean?
like takes out the like play defense, like each one of those teams.
Like the numbers are suggesting that this is almost like if you're going to win.
What if we just do field goals? Just start at the 10 and you just keep going back till somebody misses.
I mean, but that's interesting. Because I think the thing that college football has, that baseball has, is that you go back and forth. Mm-hmm. Like bottom of the 10th, bottom of the 11th, bottom of the 12th. Like you have to.
There's a chance.
You have to hold serve, and then you have to break serve. Like it's just part of the deal, and there's not that in the current overtime rule. And again, I don't care about it in the regular season, and I actually don't think it matters in the regular season.
Yeah.
But in the playoffs, I think there has to be a little bit more. Like it is prime time watching, and I agree with Dave. Like we were robbed of potentially something that could have been that like 3 or 4 overtime type reality that we talk about it forever. But instead, it's still going to be talked about forever. But kind of how that Josh Allen never touched the ball. Yeah. But Buffalo should have squib kicked it and taken time off the clock. And
goes back
not
to
give
special
it a chance. Yep.
Yeah, but if you're in overtime, I just like the fact that the offense and the defense both have to show up for this win in overtime.
Fair.
I like that.
Sure. I think though, also a piece of it is offense has been getting, when you look at the last 5 to 10 years of rule changes in NFL, it has clearly pushed, even just like in NBA, right? It clearly pushes it to being more of an offensive league too, as well. So that 10-1 definitely, you can't hit that quarterback, that holding on pass interference. So definitely also that play, I think that plays a part in that 10-1 record too.
Yeah.
All right, real quick before we move on, we got 20 minutes left in the podcast. Who are y'all's picks next week?
Rams.
Who do you have playing in the Super Bowl? Who do you have winning the Super Bowl?
Chiefs beats the Rams 34-28.
I got Chiefs Niners.
Jimmy G.
I got Chiefs Niners.
David's all in on Jimmy.
No, you know what it is really? I've never I don't think in my lifetime I've ever seen the Super Bowl like a Super Bowl team play at home. And I don't think something about that, you just never see it. Something always happens where like a good Super Bowl contending team who's supposed to play at home just doesn't. Something happens, they don't play at home. So I think the numbers would suggest I don't think it's ever happened or it hasn't in a while.
It's never happened.
So yeah, I'm just gonna put it on that. I'm gonna say the Niners. Oh, Chiefs winning.
Okay, so the rematch of 2 years ago comes out the same way. I got you.
Yeah, Chiefs, Rams win.
Yeah.
Wow. I got Chiefs, Rams, Chiefs win.
Should be good. All right, Joe Burrow, another year, big dog.
There we go. We
What's
all
next?
heard it first. Look, we got about 20 minutes of it left, so we're going to jump around a little bit. Do you want to do an NBA topic?
Let's just throw it in there.
Let's
go.
do this. All right. So the one we have, I feel like we talked about this a lot, but Dan hasn't been on for a little while, so I want to give him a chance to vent about probably his least favorite player in the NBA. Charles Barkley said he is, quote, tired of the Lakers.
Everyone's tired of the Lakers.
He called them a bunch of cowards and wussies.
Wow.
The Lakers are such wussies, and I only say wussies because I can't say the word I want to say.
You need to clarify what you want to say, man.
That means a lot of things, Charles.
Well, that's what I want to ask.
Is that the whole headline? Wait, that's it?
I mean, he kept saying like they're trying to throw Frank Vogel under the bus.
It starts with a P, guys. I can tell you exactly what he wants to say.
Now, here's the part of it that I really disagree. He's like, they're trying to throw Russell Westbrook under the bus. I was like, that man is diving under buses right now.
Russell Westbrook through his man. Look, I heard the funniest thing the other day. It was I think it was like a clubhouse chat or one of those chats. And it was Russell Westbrook's brother on there, right? His actual real life brother.
Don't do that.
And there was a Laker fan in all earnest was just like, hey, he's like, I don't mean to be funny. I'm actually being serious. I had the situation myself. Do Russ need glasses? And his brother, I guess, turns to Russell's nephew. Like, hey, man, they say Uncle Russ need glasses.
As somebody who went 31 years without glasses and then got them, it helps. There's something to it.
Yeah, but his brother also said, you know, they medical scan everything for them, so his eyes been checked so many times. These are like multi-million-dollar athletes, so he gets checked. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, Barkley also said, I'm not going to sit here like all these clowns on other networks that have their heads up the Lakers' booties.
I love Shaq so much.
He went down to booties.
Or is this Barkley? Is this Barkley or Shaq?
This is Barkley. He called the Lakers wussies and said people got their heads up their booties. All right, Dan, how do you feel about the Lakers and LeBron?
I mean, I think it's 100% accurate. Golly, the like amount of whining and complaining and like falling on the ground and just like trying to get calls and throwing balls off tops of backboards. It's embarrassing for LeBron and everything he said in the preseason. I'm glad it's embarrassing. I hope that it blows up LeBron as a GM. And you know, what's crazy is he's still putting up numbers when he's playing.
Putting them up.
But at the end of the day, what matters most is winning, and they can't figure that out. Primarily because the team is flawed. Like, no one wants to play defense, and ultimately, like, they suck when LeBron's not on the floor, which is about a third of every game, and then full games every week. He's taking a night off. So I think they get in the playoffs. I think they squeak in. I think they make a run and they shut down some of the kind of the comments until they hit a team that actually can just run circles around them. But Charles Barkley's right, and I'm glad he's saying what he's saying because LeBron needs to hear it, or at least I need to hear that not everyone loves what the product that's being put on the floor by Genie Bus and crew.
Right now, they're 8th in the West.
Are they in there?
I'm just intrigued on which Anthony Davis is returning back. Right now, he's supposed to come back Tuesday against Brooklyn. So, all that literally ties the turn. They don't win the bubble championship without Anthony Davis being a top 5 player. So depending on what type of Anthony Davis they get back, but before he got injured, he wasn't looking good. So, and that's coming off an injury. So I don't think, I think we all agree that they're not at this moment a strong, legitimate, heavily favored contender for the championship. But it's similar to Tom Brady. Until the clock hits 0, 0, 0, 0, fam.
Yeah.
You can't knock out, potential GOAT. So I definitely think they should get their heads up the butts because they definitely ain't a great team. No. But we'll see what happens, fam.
I think I still like I want to see what happens at trade deadline. I don't know how they move in those pieces, but I don't want to. I hate making predictions until we know what the team's gonna be going forward.
They're gonna move Russ. They're gonna for sure move
Russ.
Russ.
Who? No one will have.
Nobody's taking Russ.
I feel you, but like
nobody.
Hey man, that is a hard sell.
Russ shot a jump shot that hit the back of the rim the other day, and I was like,
about that. This man, like, I should never watch a professional basketball player. Like, I wouldn't even do that. I should never be able to say that. I say that too much with Russ.
The reason why the Lakers took Russ from Washington is you look at the numbers. Russ balled. Russ was averaging a triple-double. He is nowhere near that with all of the excellence and explosiveness and great decisions. He's leading the league in turnovers. You just can't. Nobody's taking Russ, fam.
Yeah.
No, there's no team.
Because they don't even have draft picks to throw in there.
They don't have that.
Yeah.
And then who has all that money? Like, you're not going to take a 32, 34-year-old Russ on a rebuilding team, and you've seen what he do, so you're not going to take that $40 million contract on a contender team. So I hear you. That ain't it. But they get AD healthy.
Yeah, you're right.
You got to get AD healthy. And they haven't had Kendrick Nunn because he's been injured. So depending on that AD, you get 2019 AD, you might get to that fourth spot. And then hold your breath.
I just want to say real quick, the fourth spot currently is held by the Jazz. They always seem to be 1, 2, and 3, somewhere around there.
Yep.
Fifth spot is the Mavericks. They're getting a healthier Luka, and they're playing better.
Sure.
Sixth spot is the Nuggets, who got the MVP. Seventh spot, maybe Timberwolves, but they got a young, talented team, but they're not. I can see them falling, but I don't see them cracking that first stick.
And like, can I just say, like,
with a 2019 AD, they can.
But what we should be talking about, which we probably aren't going to hit today because we've spent so much time talking about football, is what Ja and what you guys may have already hit. What Ja's doing in Memphis,
man.
That's what I want to talk about. That is basketball.
Draymond Green said he should be MVP conversation. I agree. I agree.
He gives me hope that we don't have to keep talking about LeBron every single year as this like dominant force, and Steph aging, blah blah blah.
This is gonna continue basketball conversation, but to add that, I was telling my brother, we were talking about this earlier. This might be the best and most parity the NBA has ever seen on both conferences, right? Like, we're talking about a Laker team with LeBron James as an 8 seed. You know what I'm saying? And then if you look in the East, I feel like I'm gonna see who's like let's see. We'll look at them now.
Probably the Bucks, Nets,
the Celtics are an 18 with Tatum and like
the Heat are the number 1 seed.
Yeah, the Heat are the number 1 seed. The net like Bull, like the defending champs are a 4 seed. This might be the most, like, it used to be you could clock in. These are the people probably in the finals.
Right.
We don't know. We can assume based on history. Nets, you know what I mean? Giannis and the Bucks figure it out. In the West, you really can't, because you would normally assume LeBron, and no one's assuming LeBron.
No.
You know what I mean? So
it's wide open this year.
This is the most. This is the best basketball probably I've ever seen.
Best or most parity? When do you qualify best? Okay.
Meaning that, like,
there's a shot.
There's a shot. Meaning which means that the competitive balance is the most balanced it's ever been.
Sure.
Yeah, playoffs will be fun.
So with it being like this, do y'all think, because I've seen on Twitter a few times, do y'all think the NBA should get rid of postseason conferences, treat it like college basketball, and you just take 1 to 16?
Ooh.
I like the conferences. I don't have a problem with the conferences in the NBA.
I don't know why I like conferences, but I like conferences.
Win the games, fam.
Okay.
Win the games.
Yeah, you gotta beat eventually you gotta beat the best. So
you gotta beat the best out of the way. Listen here, I know we only got 2.5 minutes here, but we don't do any podcasts without talking about Nate Hates, your grandma's favorite topic. Ain't nobody forgot about that, baby. Nate, what we hating on this week?
All right. This is one I had written down, and I was like excited. I'm like, I'm gonna talk about this next. And then I think I got cursed or something, which we talked about a couple weeks ago.
And you can't say that no more, man.
Between
you married in a house,
the sewer pipe.
No, you're still married in a house. Got a wonderful wife.
That is true.
Your team won. Your teams won.
Look,
you can't say that no more.
There's something. Anyway,
man got 2 championships and see a vagina on a weekly basis, and he talking about you first. My goodness. The privilege.
But I cursed.
2 championships and a vagina. Golly, that's our title.
That's
if
the
I
title.
ever heard one.
Talking about I'm cursed.
I'm trying.
People under bridges vaginalist, and he out here talking about cursed. My goodness.
Wow.
My goodness. Carry on, sir.
I can't. That's Trump's whatever I was gonna talk about. There's nothing I can. You took the legs out.
You did.
What am I supposed to say now?
I want you to have perspective, white man. I want perspective.
That's part of why this is a silly
topic. I don't come here with that C word. You came in here with that fake word. That's what you did.
Curse. Yeah, bro. You're not cursed no more.
Man, stop it.
Look,
man,
I just
got a banjo on the wall. You don't play.
You see these papers behind us, Nate? No,
he went to a parade.
Champs.
Working remotely, picking up his tired, drunk, voiceless boss. Talking about cursed. My goodness. Cursed.
You're not cursed no more, bro. You gotta. Hey, man, we gonna say it. You gotta come a new personality. It ain't cursed no more. Woe is me, Nate. Is done, bro. Your life's not bad.
What? You sick? Are you about to go?
I didn't say it was bad.
I know, but you said cursed and real.
I'm just
cursed.
saying a lot of weird stuff has happened lately that I cannot explain.
You have earned it because your life was entirely too charmed the last 2 years.
That's true.
It's called balance, bro. You're not cursed. You're experiencing balance. The universe is like, oh, we poured too much good in this one. We got to balance it out. Otherwise, his head gonna get big. He gonna think it's always supposed to be like this. And even the bad that they put in
always
pales in comparison to the good. Pales. You gotta have a new personality, bro. Curse ain't it. I know you hold on to like West Virginia and like a couple teams, but those teams don't win. You didn't live there long. You hold on to them because you thought you trying to experience losing. Give it up, bro. You around winners. Georgia win. Braves win. The Hawks made it to the Eastern Conference Final. Your life is different, man. Switch up your whole ammo, bro. Switch it up. You're not who you was no more. This is a pep talk. Get together. You
all
can
right.
make stuff.
Y'all know that sound.
You have disposable income to hang a banjo behind you.
This man got Griffies. He got Griffies.
This man has a shoe app. He has the sneaker app.
He has a
sneaker about curse.
He's trying out joggers for the first time with colorful socks. You not the Nate from before, man. You posing, bro.
You ain't white trash bag Nate.
Here. You if you want a road trip, I guarantee you're gonna have a suitcase next time we see you.
Yeah, that's true. That is the greatest.
You ain't no hefty bag. You a hefty bag, man.
That is the greatest distillation of your come up.
You've
gone from trash bag to suitcase, my dude.
Come on, man. Hey, I just don't want you to lie to these people no more. Like my life,
no more, man.
It be hard. It ain't hard, bro. Your life good.
You just say I had a rough day. That's what you
bro,
come in.
We started this podcast with your boss telling you how you sucked at your job, and still was like, you ain't got to worry about nothing.
You ain't got to worry about nothing.
You still good. Imagine who else boss could be like, man, you messed up terribly, and then like you good. That don't happen. That don't happen. You gonna hang up this podcast and go lay down to your wife. Your wife.
You tweet angrily about the Falcons for money, and you upset talking about
this is why I be like, get that hate out your heart because it don't belong there no more. You ain't got no hate no more. It don't belong there no more.
My goodness.
I'm not saying you can't figure out stuff that Nate hates every week, but just have some perspective about it.
I digress.
Man, got on the job.
Y'all know what that sound is. It's time. It's time for the greatest, most original finish in all of sports talk radio. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to one of our best topics, and this is called the wave.
You hate the wave.
How it get worse?
I was thinking more of like ocean wave, not like a fan wave.
If you gotta explain it, ain't good. It ain't good if you gotta explain it.
Music should start right about now. First topic. All right. Major League Baseball is looking to use robotic umps starting next year in AAA. David, as a former ump, are you scared seeing robots take your former job?
Nah, man. You don't have to get robotic players because they ain't gonna have nobody to play with this lockout. So get used to that. It's about to just be a whole bunch of robotic baseball. Everybody gonna be robots.
Is out of curiosity, is AAA locked out too?
I think everything is because they're part of the Players Association.
Are they? Because it would be a renaissance for AAA baseball if they could somehow manage to be like, hey, we're gonna play. You guys figure out your contract things, but we're gonna play.
Still gonna play.
Look, I want everybody to go to the KBO. That's what I want. That's what should happen.
Nah, whatever they play, KBO is cool, but them not South American, like Latin American, Dominican leagues, them the ones. I don't know what happens out there. They had the most fun.
I have no idea. I watch Dominican Winter League games sometimes on YouTube, and it is insane. Everybody's in a lime green or bright banana yellow uniform.
Yeah.
Guys are throwing bats all over the place, screaming at each other. Balls are flying left and right. There's guys you forgot about.
Yeah, they're like, still playing.
He's like, I forgot he was still. And it's like, yeah, because he got sent home.
Yeah,
that's why you forgot it, because you committed crimes here, and now he's hitting baseball 400 feet in Cuba.
Shout out to Marcelo Zuna.
I wasn't.
Hey, bro, he's gonna be in a Braves uniform next year
As a DH.
Ugh, yeah, we'll cross that bridge should we get to it.
Oh, it's crossed.
yeah, he's coming back.
Next topic: John Stockton has been banned from all Gonzaga games for refusing to wear a mask at the games. He also paired that by saying that it's a known fact that hundreds of athletes have died because of the vaccine. I don't know what happens. I feel like this is just like people who are shocked by this have not seen John Stockton lately. John Stockton looks exactly like this opinion sounds. And I'm just like, yeah, what did you expect from an old guy that looks like he plays pickup with my dad? Like, this is it.
This Stockton Malone friendship makes so much more sense now.
What did Malone say?
No, that man is trash. He's a trash. Look up Karl Malone. He's a trash human being.
You don't know about Karl Malone, trash?
Oh, he's terrible.
He's a terrible guy.
I didn't know if it was specifically pandemic stuff.
No. He was trash years before the pandemic.
Way before the pandemic.
Yeah, he smartly kept his mouth shut about this. But also, anytime somebody says it's a known fact, guess what? They about to say something that is not true. I ain't never done nobody that. It's a known fact. You're like, boy, here come the lies. Here come the lies.
No sources. No sources.
Who said it's a fact?
It's a known fact.
It's a known fact. Wait, you don't even know.
Can I Google that fact? Nope.
Yeah,
but it's known.
But it's known. They know. Who is they? Them? Them today?
Hundreds of athletes have died from the vaccine, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Hundreds. On the court.
Like Aaron Rodgers.
Speaking of athletes,
It wasn't vaccinated, it was inoculated. Get it right.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is inoculated from being the 49ers.
Right.
All right, speaking of punchable athletes, Grayson Allen back in the news with a hard foul on Alex Caruso last week. Ended up, I believe it broke one of his arms, right?
Fractured his wrist.
Fractured his wrist. The next day, I just want to say this, because the Bucks have been what I thought was like a pretty likable franchise. Giannis is the most likable superstar that I've probably ever seen. The next day, after this hard flagrant 2 foul from a guy who has a dirty background, who has built a career off of tripping guys, stepping on ankles, all that kind of stuff, they tweet out a GIF of him for game day. They delete it after they find out that the wrist was broken. And then today they released a statement where they're like, it's ridiculous that he was suspended, which I've never seen a team do. Like, tweet out an official statement defending just this gross Dellavedova wannabe. I'm sick of him. I hope he's out of the league. It won't happen, but I hate him so much.
You'll never got a league. There's always a player in the league like this. You mad about something that everybody wants. Every team wants that. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in the league constantly.
I don't think every team wants it. I think certain teams are okay with it. I don't think every team wants a Grayson Allen. I'll push back on that.
You can push back on it, but every generation is going to have multiple players like this. So there's something that people like about players that play like that. I was just going to say, I saw the play. If I'm being completely honest, and sometimes I'll be wrong, I didn't think that it was malicious. I thought it was a hard foul.
Sure, flavor one.
I didn't think it was a malicious. I think he went after the ball. Obviously in the air it gets scary, but I didn't think it was like he's had dirtier plays, is what I'm saying.
But everything he does is malicious because of who he's been. He has set his own standard for how he plays defense. So you can't give him the benefit of the doubt.
I can't. I watched the play.
But I'm saying you have to take into the history of a hard foul from him means more than a hard foul from somebody who is not stepping on ankles when he's defending people.
In NBA, hard foul is a hard foul. No matter who do it, like a hard foul is a hard foul.
It absolutely matters.
No, if you don't want somebody to score, it's a hard foul. A hard foul is a hard foul. I saw the play. He was going for the ball. There was nothing at the guy's head. There was nothing at his body in the air. He was going for the ball as he was moving. It was just flying across.
Okay, so I just watched it. I think in the first pass he was going for the ball. As Alex Caruso makes it past him, he definitely swipes to like pull him down and hard foul him. Grayson Allen is a piece of trash, and he's been a piece of trash forever. That may or may not have it but he's smiling during the replay when they're trying to figure out what they're going to, what kind of foul they're going to give him. And you can tell that at the end of the day, again, whether or not it's welcomed on the Bucks or not, that he knows what he did. He's proud of what he did. And I poke fun at LeBron because he is arguably the greatest players of all time, and just the whining just gets to me. But he is incredibly talented, historical player.
Yes.
Grayson Allen doesn't deserve to wear an NBA jersey.
Garbage.
I won't disagree with that.
No, I don't care anything about a person named Grayson. I don't know.
Not a person named Grayson.
All right, well, there we go. That's it. That's all of our topics. Thank y'all so much. We did pretty good for the first 4 topics to technically go 50 minutes.
Not bad.
Yo, we're getting better at this whole podcast thing, y'all. we're gonna figure it out at some point. It just took us a little bit. Well, that's all we've got, y'all. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Just a reminder, I am filming my first comedy special.
Let's go.
JJ's Bohemia in Chattanooga. Listeners, get in for free.
Come on.
You get in for free. Message me for the code. Get tickets now. JJ's limits the seats, especially during COVID. So get your tickets now. Get them early.
Won't pull up and make it a weekend. I bet y'all won't hang out with us.
Chattanooga. It's a wonderful, wonderful city.
Next week, you got to give them things to do while they're there. You got to give them things to do for the weekend.
I can do that. I'll do that next week.
I already called in for my sub, fam. We out here, baby.
We out here.
We off.
Yeah. Is it me? All right. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at DoorDies at DueOrdie or DavePurdueComedy.com. If you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area this weekend, I'll be at the House of Comedy in Plano, Texas.
Out to him.
The 27th through the 29th, feature for the Daily Show, Dulce Sloan. Also, I'll be in Phoenix next week.
Come on.
4th and the 5th. I forgot the name of their club, but I'll be in Phoenix, Arizona next week. So check out those things. And if you're a listener there, let me know.
Both House of Comedies, if you're doing.
Are they both House of Comedies? I think they are both House of Comedies. Well, there we go. House of Comedy in Phoenix, House of Comedy in Plano. Check me out this weekend, next weekend. If you're a listener, let me know. I'm gonna try to work something out for you. Real quick, I want to shout out a listener, Scam Boogie. My sister friend Scam Boogie. He said, if we do replay episodes, we gotta let people know in the beginning. He said he was listening for 20 minutes last week and was like, wait a minute, this ain't the Super Bowl.
I usually give an intro, but one of the reasons we had to do one is because my voice was going in and out.
Yeah.
So sorry about that. My bad.
All right, Scam Boogie, man. I had to shout you out. Appreciate you listening.
Hilarious. Get at me on Instagram, DAMONJR, add the number 2.
Yeah, and I'm Dan Duncan, legendary Georgia winner. I didn't play in the game, but UGA champions for dogs.
Champion.
There we go. Hashtag 4th and 10. See y'all next week.
Holla.
Peace.
I got it out of me. It can't all be wedding cake. It can't all be boiled away. I try, but I can't let go of it. Can't let go of it. We shouldn't talk to the water boy. And there's so much you could learn, but you don't want to know. You will not back up an inch of it. everything that I tell you now, it may not go over well. Oh, and it may not be thought a while, no way that I spell it out. But you won't hear from the messenger. Don't wanna know about something that you don't understand. You got no fear of the underdog. That's why you will not survive. Right?
When you watch Team USA go for the gold, you don't just want fast Wi-Fi. You want that Michaela Schifrin eat my powder, I ski faster than you drive kind of speed. You want that faster than a gig power all your devices at once to watch every wow-worthy moment kind of speed. You want gig speed internet from Xfinity. Switch today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Gig Wi-Fi requires gig internet and X-Fi gateway. Gig speed Wi-Fi is shareable across all devices. Actual speeds vary. Xfinity, proud partner of Team USA.
The motto for 2022 is out with the old, in with the bold. And if you're ready to revamp your career, your relationships, or your money this year, check out Modern Life. It's a new podcast and newsletter from Fidelity Investments with fresh perspectives from people defining success on their own terms and tips to help you do the same. Search Modern Life wherever you find your podcast to follow and subscribe. Keep in mind that investing involves risk. The value of your investment will fluctuate over time, and you may gain or lose money. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC, 900 Salem Street, Smithfield, Rhode Island, 02917.